Welcome to the second episode on our series of Oat Milk Showdown. Today, we are going to review this milk, which is Noomoo Barista Edition. This milk is from Singapore, but made in Malaysia. So we are going to taste test based on 3 criteria. One is using plain milk, so we're going to taste it just as it is, and then we're going to make iced latte with espresso and then iced matcha latte. We've noticed that in some of the cafes, they're already starting to use this. And so I'm very curious as to how it fares plain with iced latte and with matcha latte. Based on the 3 criteria for plain milk, sweetness, it is not very sweet, but I'll give it a 3 out of 5. In terms of creaminess, it's separating for sure, so I'll also give it a 3 out of 5. It is creamy. And for drinkability, the taste is not quite familiar, so I would give it also a 3 out of 5. Next, we are going to taste test this milk with espresso. So this is a 12-ounce cup, and I use a recipe of 4 ounces or 120 milliliters of milk and my double shot of espresso. We're going to try it without any sweetener at first to find out whether we don't need any sweetener. And maybe adding sweetener might make the taste better. Okay, so into my cup of ice, I'm going to now pour my double shot of espresso. Looking very good here. So this is iced latte using Noomoo. The color looks very good. It's no longer grayish. Oh wow. And the smell of the coffee is perfect. Time for the moment of truth. Coffee balance. The coffee is very strong here, but I can still taste the oat milk. So I'd say it does give a good balance. There's a little bit of a bitterness because maybe the oat milk is not naturally sweet. Coffee balance, I'll give it a 5 out of 5. Texture, I'll give it 5 out of 5 as well. In terms of sweetness, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. It's not very sweet. Now I think if I add sugar syrup into this, let's find out whether it improves the taste. Definitely for those with sweet tooth, this will be better. And it is definitely better. Works better with syrup for iced cafe latte. Overall, I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. And the final taste test, we are going to taste this milk with matcha. I'm going to use the same recipe, 120 milliliters of this milk, Noomoo. It's a funny name for an oat milk, but yeah, it's kind of cute. I like it. Once again, we're going to try this without any sweetener. Matcha, 5 grams into 45 milliliters of water, perfectly green. And now for the moment of truth. Color is perfect. I mean, initially I looked at the color of the milk. It is more like grayish rather than cream. But with this matcha, it kind of perfectly balances that color. It becomes beautiful. So even when mixing with matcha, gorgeous dark green color. For those that have not tried matcha with oat milk, you should really give it a try. Oat milk just gives or enhances the taste of the matcha. Now let's find out what happens when we use Noomoo. Matcha balance, there is no balance. I would say in this case, the oat milk overpowers the taste of the matcha. That's not very good. You'd like it to be perfectly balanced. So I'll give it a 3 out of 5. In terms of natural sweetness, for some reason, the sweetness of the matcha is kind of balanced well with the oat milk. So I'd say the natural sweetness of the oat milk in this one would be, I'd say 4 out of 5. And in terms of the mouthfeel, creaminess, it is 5 out of 5. Now, what if we add some sweetener? Does it improve the taste? Does it balance it more? Overall taste, I could taste the sweetness here, but it definitely balances it. So the sugar is prominent in this case, so I'd give it 4 out of 5. Matcha latte, iced latte, and plain milk, Noomoo Oat Milk. Okay, so now let's go to the final scoring. Plain milk, I would give it an 8 out of 10 because there is a little bit of separation. The color is not as good as I would expect it to be. I'd prefer it to be a little bit darker or creamier rather than grayish. Okay, so that's an 8 out of 10 for plain milk. For natural sweetness, I'd say I'll give it a 9 out of 10. It does have some natural sweetness. In terms of tasting it with iced latte, I would give it a perfect score. 10 out of 10 with or without sweetener. With matcha latte, it didn't go quite well because the matcha is lost in the oat milk. I'll give it an overall score of 8 out of 10. With the sweetener, it just made it worse because I could only taste the sweetener in that. Value for money is not very expensive. This one was a bit more friendly than So Good, although this is also a barista edition. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10. My recommendation for this is to use this with coffee, not with matcha. Stay tuned for our next review of oat milk, and that will be Milkland. In the meantime, take care, stay safe. Thank you for watching. Ciao for now.